goodies. Oh shoot. Hey, what's up? It's Annika. So for today's video, I'm going to just be sitting down playing with some makeup as I normally do, but a different twist for today is that I'm going to be talking about 20 things that I wish I knew before I went to college. I recently just graduated in December, and I just kind of made a list of things that I wish I knew before I went and things that would have maybe helped me prepare for the transition. And I thought maybe that would be a good topic to talk about while I do my makeup, so I'm just not sitting here in fast motion going like this with my beauty blender. So yeah, let's get started. I did also order some new makeup from Sephora, so I will also be trying most of the products you have never seen before, and it could go bad, but I'm gonna try some new products. So let's start. Let's go through my list of things that I have written down. Oh, okay. So the first one I have on my list is you may lose those high school friends. Yeah, that's really true. Before we jump into that topic, let's start with some primer. The first thing that I'm going to go in was actually something I just bought, which is the Professional primer, the mini size, of course. So yeah, let's talk about it. I went to a high school it was combined with the middle school, and I had been there since 6th grade, and I was basically surrounded with the same people for 7 years. Like from 6th grade to graduation, I was with these people, and like some people fluctuated in and out. We got new people here and there, but ever did it really happen. And so I had the same friends for a really long time, and I really found my friend group around like 8th grade, 9th grade year. And I had a group of friends and we were super close. And then when we went to college, well, actually, by the end of senior year, there were a couple girls that I was just like absolutely sick of. I was like, I can't handle it. There's too much drama. We kind of had a falling out around prom, and then we just stopped talking. So, but then there was another girl that was like my really, really close friend. And we had FaceTimed a couple times when I got to school, and we had talked or whatever, but then we just kind of fell out of like talking with each other, and it wasn't like we had a falling out or anything. We had hung out one time over like Christmas break freshman year when we both were home, and then we don't know, we just kind of stopped hanging out. And I still have like mad love for her, and like if we were to talk, like I'm sure we would be able to pick up right where we left off, but we just don't talk as much anymore as we used to. It's just really weird because you think that those people in high school are going to be your friends forever, and then you stop talking to them, and it's a really weird transition. And there are some people that I've had in my life that I know that no matter how long we go without like really, really talking, we'll always be okay. Like one of my best friends from elementary school, and one of my we can go a really long time without talking, and we'll be perfectly fine. We can go right back into hanging out, and it'd be super easy for us. So there's just those friends that you have in your life, and then I don't know, it really just became, I was in Hawaii for school, and I was so far, and I rarely ever came home. I only really came home for Christmas, and then when I started getting a job and all this stuff, I started just staying out there for summer. And then my parents moved to Vegas and a couple of years ago, and then I just stopped returning to Colorado, which is where my high school friends were, and we just stopped talking. And I feel like that would have been really nice to know, because it did kind of suck. Like it sucked not being able to talk to those people that I had grown so close to. But also I think my situation's a little different, because I went to a school with the same people for 7 years, and it's kind of like you either make friends or you don't have any, because that's it. Like the school's not big enough where you find a different group of friends completely, because the school was so small. And so I don't know if I think for some situations, not all, I was being friends with people that I probably wouldn't have been friends with anymore after a while, because it was convenient and it was either have friends or not. And that sounds really harsh, but it's just kind of the reality of it. I think it's just we dealt with each other, and I pushed things down to the side because I didn't want to make our friendship group, I didn't want to make our friend group awkward with certain people, and that's why we kind of had a falling out. I had a falling out with one of the other girls in our friend group by senior year because I was just fed up and I was done. So I don't know, I hope everyone that I was friends with back in high school is doing really well, and I hope that they're very happy and they're staying safe in this quarantine time, but we're just not friends anymore. And I guess not being friends, we're not friends anymore is kind of a wrong statement. We just don't talk anymore. I feel like there's certain people that, like, if I reached out or they reached out and we talked, we would get back right to where we were. But yeah, we just kind of stopped talking. Okay, so for foundation, I ordered the All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation, and I did the shade matching thing online, and I pray to God that it matches my skin. So let's hope. If not, I just wasted money, but it's totally fine. But I don't know. I think it might work. If I get this to match, that would be a freaking success, bro. Oh my god. Okay, so before we put our foundation on, let's talk about, oh, it's okay to take longer than 4 years to graduate. Okay, so does this match? Ooh. I took 4.5 years to graduate from college, and I always felt this pressure to graduate in 4 years. And when I found out that I was gonna have to graduate in 4.5, I was actually like really embarrassed and really ashamed because I wasn't gonna be graduating with all the friends that I had made. And I was really embarrassed. Like, it sucked. But the thing is that people don't realize that certain degrees take a really long time to finish. And then I had made friends with people. Is that a good match? Oh, not bad. I had made friends with people that had taken longer to graduate, and they're like, it's totally okay. It's totally normal. Like, it's fine. There's nothing to be embarrassed about or be ashamed about. Like it's nothing to be embarrassed about or be ashamed. Like, it totally happens. You know, classes don't, you can't get into certain classes. You can't, or, you have to retake a class or stuff like that. There's a bunch of reasons why it takes longer to graduate. And I just want you to know, before, if you're watching this and you're a senior getting ready to go into college, it's nothing to be ashamed of. And I wish I knew that. And I feel like deep down I knew that, but I was still embarrassed, like I was still like super embarrassed about it because I wanted to graduate in 4 years. I originally wanted to graduate in 3 years. But I didn't, and because it just didn't work out that way, and I was just super ashamed that I graduated in 4.5 years, but at least I graduated, right? Like, at least I did something and I graduated, and I can't be upset with that because I got my degree. So just know that it's okay. And there are plenty of reasons why not to graduate on time, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. Like, it's totally okay. It's actually really, really normal, especially when you're taking a hard degree, it's especially really normal when you're doing a difficult degree. So just don't be ashamed. And I just wish I knew that at the time. Okay, let's hurry up this foundation process. I know I wasn't gonna do high speed, but I need to probably do it in this video a little bit. The next topic is homesickness will come no matter how much fun you're having. So I went to school in Hawaii, and I was like, I'm not gonna get homesick. Like, I'm having the time of my life. Like, I'm going to the beach every weekend. We're hiking. I'm living my best Hawaii life. Why would I get homesick? And then my freshman year happened, and I got relatively homesick. And it happened every semester after that. Like, I got homesick right around when I was supposed to be coming home for Christmas, a little bit before, because you're stressed about finals, you're trying to figure out where you're living next year, if it's the spring semester, or there's just all this hectic stuff going on. And I And I learned a lot about myself in college when it comes to homesickness, because I am an what I think it's, I don't know if the correct term for it is, but I'm an extroverted introvert. Like, I'm very extroverted with people that I know and that I like and that I'm comfortable around, and I'm very crazy and out there. But if I don't know you and I'm new to an area or new to a place, I will not talk to anybody, and I'm super shy, and I don't interact with people, which is something that people wouldn't really guess about me if you know me personally. But and I also like to recharge on my own, and I've always been like that ever since I was little. Like, after like a birthday party or a sleepover or something that I had as a like as a kid or in high school, I would need, like, my mom always said this about me, that I would be in my room the rest of the day after, if I came back from a sleepover after a birthday party, where I would just need time to recharge. And especially freshman year, it hit me where I lived on campus, and I went to the dining commons and I had class with these people, and so I felt like I could never get away from people, because at least if I was going to school and I was living at home, I could leave the school, go home, recharge by myself. But I was eating, going to class, and living with all these people. And so when I needed to recharge, I couldn't recharge in the way that I wanted to. So I got really homesick, and I really, really missed my family. And I have a really good family life. Like, me and my family are really, really, really close, and I'm very fortunate for that. But they were always having family parties, or they were doing something, or they were going on a vacation or a trip for a weekend for a party or something like that. And I couldn't just hop on a plane and come with them for the weekend because I lived in Hawaii and flights were so expensive. So I also had like major FOMO um, during this time as well in school, because I wasn't able to be in all the events, and I missed a lot from going to school far away. And that's probably one of the downfalls of going to school so far from where your family is. Um, because I know a lot of my friends that went to school like a few hours away, so when they were having it rough and they needed a break, they could drive home and like go see their family and like recharge, and I just didn't have that. So no matter how much fun you think you're having or that you are having in school, um homesickness will always hit you. Like, that's just what I learned. It always happens. You just miss something that's familiar to you. Okay. So let's set my under eyes and do the baking while we talk about being a hoe. So it's okay to be a hoe, but do it safely. So I was not a hoe at all in high school. I actually had a boyfriend I had a few boyfriends in high school, but they were all for a pretty long term, like a long time. And then when I got to college, I was single, and I also went to an art school where a majority of the guys that I went to school with were gay. And nothing wrong with that. Like, you do you, you live your freaking best life, and whatever. But that made the guys that we could date really limited. And since the school was also really small, if you dated one guy, there was no sense of like girl code or bro code or boy code. Like, there was none of that, because the school was so small, so people would date your ex like really quickly if they were like a hot commodity. And so I did not grow up, with a lot of straight men in my life and not a lot of straight guy options. But then when I got to college, I was like, oh my god, there's so many straight guys all in one place. This is wild. Like, what the heck? Um, I'm not used to this. Like, I'm so used to like gay guys just like, you know, being the majority. And guys were like always talking to me and always hitting on me, which that never really happened in my life. And that was like something to adjust to. Like, I was like kind of confused, because it just also the environment that I was in, like not a lot of straight guys. So no guys were like sliding in my DMs. I didn't go to regular high school. So it was just like, it was crazy.
Hey, editing Annika here. Sorry for the terrible angle and the terrible lighting. I just wanted to clarify. I sound like I think I'm hot. This clip talking about guys hitting on me. I'm just talking about the fact that I was so used to like zero guys hitting on me. I was I was used to gay guys and the straight guys were usually taken. So when I got to college and guys were talking to me and like hitting me up and stuff, not that there was like a line of guys at my door, but the fact that I was even getting any male attention was really weird for me because I wasn't used to it all the time. So that's what I mean. I don't mean I'm like hot, I'm all that and like yeah, you guys want to date me. Like, that's not what I mean. And I feel like that's what I come off in this clip, so I'm really sorry. All right, let's get back into the video.
I had my version of a hoe phase. I didn't sleep around. I didn't like have sex with a bunch of guys, which there's nothing wrong with that, but that just isn't my thing. But I was like hoeing, I was doing like my version of hoeing around a little bit. And it's okay to do it as long as you're being safe. So don't feel ashamed if you're being a hoe in college. Just make sure you're using protection, you're taking care of yourself, and if you're going on Tinder dates or you're going on online dating apps and stuff and you're going out with a guy in public or going out with a guy, make sure you do it in public and make sure you share your locations with your friends if you have iPhones and just make sure you're doing it safely. There's nothing wrong with hoeing it around if that's what you want to do. I fully support it as long as you're being safe and you're taking care of yourself. So don't let people make you feel bad for doing it. And honestly, college is the place to be a hoe. Let's do number 5. Make sure you know all your degree requirements. And I feel like this is a duh, Annika, like that's a no-brainer. Like, why would I not know all my requirements? Because, there's this thing called academic advisors, and yes, they're supposed to do their job, but they don't always do your job. Because I was the type of person that I didn't completely plan my 4 years by myself. I did most of it, and then I would go and double check with my academic advisor because I wanted to make sure I had all my requirements. And I had this experience where I came into my academic advising and I shared with her like my plan. I was like, hey, this is my plan, this is what I plan on doing. Here's the classes I'm going to be taking, and I wanted to retake a couple classes because I wanted a better grade in them, and I just kind of like had made it work. And I was like, is there anything else I need to add in here to make sure that I'm going to be graduating with all the correct credits, right? And then she was like, nope, you're good to go, and like sent me off, right? And I was like, oh, okay, perfect. So I signed up for the classes, and then my second to last semester rolls around, and I go in again just to double check for my last semester before I register for classes, like, hey, am I good to go still? Like, is there anything I'm missing? And she goes, oh, you're missing your ecology credit. And I was like, ecology credit? Like, what? You didn't say anything about an ecology credit. I came in and checked with you multiple times, every process of the way. I checked with you every step of the way to make sure I had all my requirements, and you didn't say anything. And I know what you're thinking, like, normally that wouldn't be that big of a deal, but ecology at my university was only offered in the spring semester, and I graduated in the fall, and I was going in my last spring semester, checking with her about my fall schedule. And she's like, yeah, college is only offered in the spring. And I was like, hold up, I am not gonna stay an extra semester to take one credit or one class. That's just not how it's gonna fly today. Like, absolutely not. And I was like, well, you didn't. In my mind, I'm like, this would have been amazing information to know. Thanks for. Why do I always do my cheekbones uneven? Ugh. Like, lady, that would have been great information to know. Like, hello. And so, luckily, there was a different class that still qualified as the ecology credit, so that was really good. But just make sure you know all the credits and you're double and triple checking, because you don't want that to be the reason why you don't graduate, or you don't graduate in the timely manner that you want to. But again, like we said earlier, there is nothing wrong with taking a little bit of extra time to graduate. Ooh, number 6. It is okay to fail a class. This was a hard pill for me to swallow in undergrad. I failed calculus. Let's just put it out there. I failed calc, like, not even like a C or anything. Like, that's not failing in my mind. Like, for some people it's just failing, but like, I failed calculus. Like, it was so bad, it was so hard. Math is one of my weakest subjects, And I remember having to tell my parents that I was failing a class and that I was gonna have to retake it. And it was like my sophomore year or like my junior year that I took the class. Um, and I remember calling them literally bawling. Like, I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, oh my God, like screaming, like crying, like hyperventilating on the phone with my parents on FaceTime. And my mom was like, dude, you're good. Like, chill, you're fine. Like, it's totally okay. Just retake it. Like there's nothing wrong with having to retake a class, but there's just, I feel like, at least for me in my experience, I feel like there was so much like shame in failing a class in high school that followed me in college. And let me just tell you, it is nothing like yes, college is a lot like high school, but it's not a lot like high school in the ways you think. People are really open about um, needing tutoring or struggling or not doing well in a class, and it's actually really normalized in college, and it where it doesn't make you feel bad. Like, and I feel like in high school having to do summer school, at least for me, was like, if you had to do summer school, like you were dumb or you were stupid, or like, you know, you were like behind and like you should be like embarrassed and not tell people because it's something to be ashamed about. And it's like the total opposite in college. And people are like, hey, yeah, I failed a class, like it sucks, but like what are you gonna do? And it's not that crazy. So don't be embarrassed about failing a class. It's totally normal. It's totally okay. You can always retake it. A lot of the classes are offered every semester, so you can take it. You can take it online. You can take it in the summer. There's plenty of options to retake a class, so don't be embarrassed if you fail. It's totally okay. I know the guilt and the shame is there, and I felt it. I've been there. It sucks, but just figure out a way, figure out your next move on what you're going to do, when you're going to take it, and how you're going to improve your grade. Are you going to go to tutoring? Are you going to make sure you're actually taking notes? Are you going to make sure you're actually going to class? Because sometimes people fail because they're not going to class, and like, you know, you just have to find a way, regroup, and figure it out, and stop feeling sorry for yourself, and just get it done. Like, there's nothing wrong with failing a class. That's all I have to say about that. So 7, eating alone is actually nice. So I feel like for me, this is like kind of random and not like one of the ones that is like shocking or whatever, like life changing, but college has really taught me how to eat alone and how to be okay with eating alone. Because sometimes it's not like high school where you have lunch with all of your friends. College is, hey, I have 30 minutes to eat food before my next class. I need to grab something quick, or I have an hour to kill, but none of my friends are in this part of my campus, so I'm just gonna eat by myself. And I actually enjoy eating alone now, and just know you're not weird. You don't look like a loner, you don't look like a loser. Everyone's doing it, and it's totally okay. And honestly, that was the time for me that I was that I had to recharge. Like, that was my time to recharge. I would like put my headphones in, listen to music, or watch a YouTube video or something, and recharge and just eat by myself. So eating alone is okay. Don't think you're weird. Okay, next one. Bad teachers exist even in college. And I feel like everyone knows this, but I had hoped that the teachers would get better with university. And they don't. Some teachers just really suck. And that's just the reality of it. Like, some teachers are just the most boring, monotone humans you will ever come across. And it's okay. You just have to learn how to teach yourself. And that's just what college is learning how to teach yourself, or learning from other people that just naturally understand it. I had a math teacher where he was literally just so smart that he couldn't dumb it down for us. And math is really hard for me, and I had to literally learn everything off the internet and figure it out because he was just so smart that it was easy for him. And he also was the type of person that like did the math in his head, and I'm like, I need the step-by-step breakdown on how you got that answer because I'm still at the very top doing the addition. You know, like, that's just who I was, and that's how I've always been. And I had to just teach myself. And so, he was just too smart to dumb it down for me and the rest of the class. And it's just like, yeah, that sucks. And you think that the teachers would be better, but sometimes they just aren't. But as long as you learn early on what the best way for you to learn is, you will succeed. Like, I learned that The best way I learn is through repetition and flashcards. But sometimes that's not the best way to learn a certain subject. But that is the best way that I learn terminology and other stuff like that. I can't just read it over and over again. That's just not who I am. Talk to people that have the same way of learning as you do and see if they like a specific teacher and if they like them and why not. And do your research, because if you're lucky enough, unlike me, to have a big university and have multiple different teachers that teach a certain subject, definitely do your research, because when the opportunity presents itself, you gotta take advantage of it, because it doesn't always happen. Sometimes the only teacher that teaches that class is that teacher that sucks, and you just gotta figure out a way. You gotta figure out the way you learn, how to teach yourself if they're not a good teacher for you, and use your resources. Use the tutoring use the tutoring that your school offers, or use the friends that know that they can break it down for you and help you. So they exist, they're out there. Just, have patience and find a better way to learn. Number 9, it's just like high school. I know I said earlier that it's like high school, but not in the ways that you think. It is still a lot like high school, and it sucked. Like, I thought it wasn't going to be like high school. I thought it was going to be better, but I learned that life is always going to be like high school. My mom even says it to this day. My mom is my mom is a working woman. She has her husband, she has my dad, and she has us, and she's like, oh, it's still like high school, even in her work environment. She's like, that never goes away. Every woman and guy is still who they were in high school. So just prepare for that, prepare for ugly fights and immature little and as long as you go within that mindset and you try to remain positive, it's okay. Just don't be like me and be naive and think that it wasn't going to be like high school, because it is. People are still catty. People will still talk and not to your face, and then turn around and be like, hi, oh my god, how are you? I hate that. College is like high school. So all right, number 10, halfway there. Build relationships with your professors. Yes, 100%. And I didn't really have issues with this. The professors that I liked knew my name, and I had a relationship with them, and it's easy for me now, getting ready to go into grad school, getting ready to apply, to ask for letters of recommendation or ask for help and stuff like that. But I have friends that didn't make any personal connections or relationships with professors, and then they're now trying to go into grad school or take the next step, and they don't know who to ask for letters of rec from, or who, they just stayed in the background and minded their own business and didn't, venture out, and now they're struggling with that next step. So, find a teacher that you like and that you connect with, and make sure that you build a relationship with them, and, do internships with them if you can, or go to their office hours, and just so that they remember your face, so that when you are coming back a year later or so asking like, hey, I would love if you wrote a letter of recommendation for me for grad school, they remember who you are. They don't go, who's that? I don't remember having her in my class. You will gain the freshman 15 no matter how hard you try. If not the freshman 15, the sophomore, junior, or senior 15. It's going to happen. Yeah. That is very, very true. Okay, before we go deep into that, let's just talk about the palette we're going to use today. I'm going to be using the BH Cosmetics Zodiac palette. I use this in my everyday makeup routine video, and I'm now going to dip into some other colors and show you what this palette can do. I think I'm going to do a neutral eye, but some still fun stuff. Don't worry, it's not going to be too boring. But yeah, so we're going to use this palette today. I'll tell you what shades I'm using, but I'm not going to do a tutorial thing because we've got a lot more to talk about. Okay, I'm going to pick up the matte brown shade that I used in my last video in the Aquarius section and just buff this into my crease as a transition shade while we talk about the freshman 15. So I don't want to use this mirror. So I definitely gained the freshman 15, and I probably gained the senior 15 as well. I know a lot of people, me included, that were like, I'm not gonna gain the freshman 15. Absolutely not. Like, I'm gonna work out, I'm gonna eat healthy, and I'm not gonna do it. That's not how it works. Like, you will gain weight. It's just what it is. Because either the food is questionable at the dining commons and you don't trust the meat, so you end up eating mashed potatoes for a whole week straight, or eating rice for a whole week straight, or whatever it may be, you're gonna gain weight. You are in control of your eating habits now. You don't have someone at home to remind you, like, hey, eat your vegetables, drink lots of water, don't eat that second bag of chips, Annika. But it's just a completely different mindset. You have to control your eating habits and how much you're exercising and what you're doing and taking care of yourself. And like, not that in high school you're not taking care of yourself already and being self-sufficient, but college is the first time where you are really taking care of yourself and you are really in charge, and you have to tell yourself, no, I'm not gonna eat the whole bag of chips, no, I'm not gonna go get ice cream for the 5th time this week. Like, there's just things where you are in charge of your health now. And so, or you get really stressed and you totally forget to work out 2-3 weeks in a row. Or, for my case, my last semester was awful and super stressful, and all I was doing was working and going to school, but I barely had time to go to the gym and work out, and I was just eating fast food because it was easy. It was on the way to work, it was on the way home, or it was door dashing and Grubhubbing stupid stuff. Like, it is gonna happen, so just embrace it. It's okay. You can always lose the weight. And if you can remain a good diet and exercise routine through college, I applaud you. Every one of my friends in college has gone through a phase of gaining not a lot of weight, but gaining weight and feeling bad about their bodies, and then they jump back into it and get on track. So it happens, just be prepared. Don't be discouraged. It's okay. It's gonna happen. Don't feel pressure to find the one in college. I feel like there's a stigma that you have to find who you're gonna marry in college, because that's like the ideal time to find somebody. But if you don't feel pressured to do it, you're gonna date a lot of boys. I did it. You're gonna date some really good guys, and it just not work out, and you just have to. I've learned through college that if you're not looking for it is when you find it. And I know that's such a cheesy thing and such a typical thing to say, but it's just what it is. Like, when you're not looking for it is when you're gonna find it. Like, I know for a fact that me and my boyfriend, I was not looking to date anyone at the time. I was like, oh, I'm just kind of messing around, doing whatever, and now we've been dating for 2 years. Don't go looking for it. Enjoy your life, and you don't feel pressure to find the one in college, because it doesn't happen for a lot of people, and that's okay. I'm gonna take this matte shade in the Capricorn section. So next one, ask for help if you're struggling. This is relevant to academics and mental health. If you are struggling in any way, ask for help. But we're going to focus on just academic wise right now, because I'm going to get into the mental health part a little later. Just don't be afraid to ask for help. There's a lot of resources out there. Don't feel ashamed if you don't get something like the person next to you in class. It's okay. There's gonna be those in your class that just automatically get it and they don't have to study and they finish the test super fast. Trust me, I know those people, and it sucks. Just don't compare yourself to those people. It does you no good, and it's okay to struggle. It's okay to need help. It's okay to need tutoring. It's okay to need things broken down for you. It is okay. Don't feel ashamed or embarrassed, because those people that finish those tests super fast, they're gonna come across a subject that they don't understand, and that sucks for them. And then they're gonna be like, oh, is this how everyone feels? Yeah, it's how everyone feels. So don't compare yourself to those people. Pay no attention to them, because they're just who they are and they get it really well, and that's great for them, and I wish I was like that, but I'm not, so it's okay. Don't worry about it. Take advantage of your school therapists. If your school, which I think a majority of universities have this, if they have a psychology department that have therapists or medical professionals, mental health professionals on standby for you to use them. I wish I used mine sooner. I didn't start seeing the school therapist until my senior year, and I really wish I had started seeing her sooner. I only saw her because I broke out into a almost full body anxiety stress rash from school. Like, I had it all over my arms, in between my thighs, because I'm thick. Just kidding. I had it like in between my thighs where my legs touched. I had it on my chest and like on my stomach because I was so stressed out with school. And I started going to her, and it was amazing. It was the best thing I could have ever done. So take advantage of the things that you have if you have them, because you're paying for it. It's in your tuition, so you might as well use it. Like, it's not an extra fee. It's included in your tuition for everybody, so you might as well just use it. And I find it very beneficial. It's just nice to talk to a third party that has no agenda in your life, and they have no other opinions about your life, and they're just there to talk things out with you. And honestly, every time I went to go see her, I started seeing the therapist at my university weekly, and I felt so much better after every time that I saw her. Like, so much. I felt so much better every time I saw her because I was getting out every emotion, talking things through, and finding the roots of my anxiety that I've been having lately at the time. And it was really, really nice, and I wish I still had that. Like, I wish I had taken advantage of my resources when it was available to me, because now I'm out of college and I don't have a therapist anymore. So right now I look like I have poop in my eyes, but it's fine. We're gonna continue. It will look good at the end, I promise. Okay, so next one, the cute boy is not worth it. Does that need any more explanation? I don't think so, but we're just gonna go into it. But while we're doing that, I'm gonna go in with the shimmer shade, or I don't know if it's a foiled or metallic or what, but this top shade in the Capricorn, and I'm gonna put this all over my lid. So when I say that the cute boy is not worth it, they're just not. Don't do it. Don't do it. I know that, like, if you're gonna hoe around, do you. I'm so proud of you as long as you're being safe. But just know that no boy is worth crying over. No boy is worth, like, hurting your feelings over. I've always thought this, but it's even more prevalent in college, because college is only so limited. College is only so long, and you shouldn't be spending your time sad about a guy. Like, that's just not how you should waste some of the best years of your life. I just don't agree with it. So, you heard it here first. The cute boy is not worth it. Don't waste your mascara on him. Mascara can be expensive. Don't waste it on him. Don't ruin your foundation for him. No. Here's my thing. I've always said this. My mom has always said this. You only get one day to cry. One day to feel all the feelings, eat all the junk foods you can, and then you get up, you wipe your tears, and you grind, and you get on it, and you distract yourself. And you can be sad, but do not give him or her, whoever you're interested in, him or her, whoever you're interested in, do not give them the power to make you upset, and do not give them the power to let you cry. And maybe that's just the Scorpio in me, but don't do it. He's not worth it. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Okay, next one. College parties are bad. I know this is a controversial opinion, but this is just from my personal experience. I went to a relatively small university in comparison to the other universities that my friends went to, but the college parties honestly sucked. Like, the big ones that everyone was like, yo, we're throwing a party, come through, like, and there's a lot of people there, like, they weren't that fun. Like, they were honestly, like, really boring, and it wasn't even because I wasn't intoxicated for a majority of them. Like, I don't really have to drink to have a good time. Like, yeah, it's fun, but I personally, in my opinion, I like to be in control of my body and not be super intoxicated where I don't know what's going on. But that's just me. but like they were boring. It was a bunch of girls jam-packed in one house with like 15 guys from the basketball team. And we're all standing there like on top of each other like this, breathing each other's air, and I did not do it good with people in my personal space. Like trying to dance and like trying to talk over a bunch of people, and then it would get busted in like 15 minutes of you getting there, because you know you got to get there late. You can't be there right when the party starts because you don't want to be that person, so you get there fashionably late when the party's already going, so you're not super awkward, and then the police shuts it down anyway. So it was trash. I would so rather go to a club with my friends and dance. But you know, I'm sure other people have a different college party experience, but in my college experience, they were trash. Okay, so I'm now gonna take this like yellow, greenish gold duochrome right here in the Aquarius section, and I'm gonna put that just in the center of my lid. The next one, oh, this was perfect. You don't have to be intoxicated to have a good time. I am not a big drinker now that I am the age I am able to drink. Not a big drinker. It's not really my thing. I don't really enjoy it that often. Like, I'll drink here and there, but I'm not like, let's rage, let's black out. Like, that's just not who I am. But I've learned that you do not have to be blackout intoxicated to have a good time. And honestly, some of the best times I've had at parties or at the club is when I'm not intoxicated, because I get to see everyone act a fool and laugh at them the next day. So just don't feel pressure to drink if you're not comfortable yet or you don't feel like it that day. Like, yeah, people will give you, they'll get over it, and it's not the end of the world if you don't drink. Okay. 18. College friends are lifelong friends. And not all of them, because trust me, I don't talk to some people now that I've graduated college, and I don't plan to talk to those people ever again. But you will find a group of people that stick around those whole 4 years, whether you live together the whole time or you separate when you move, and they will always be there for you. And I have made those lifelong friends. I know who those friends are, and I know I can count on them for anything. And just know that I've learned in my personal experience that college friends are your lifelong friends. So we are at, oh, we only have 2 more. This one, number 19 is join a club or do some extracurricular activities, because I wish that was probably one of my biggest regrets in school, is that I didn't join a club, or I did join a club my last semester, but that's like one of the things that I regret the most, is that I didn't join a club. I didn't do more school activities than I wish I had done more, like been involved more, because now I've seen a couple of my friends apply for stuff, and they always ask like, oh, what extracurricular activities have you done, and what have you like, you know, and what has it taught you and stuff for like applications and jobs and stuff like that, and they don't have anything to say because they didn't do any of that stuff. So definitely do that. And this last one I'm gonna do, just talk about while I finish my makeup. I know I'm not done with my makeup, but let me just speed through some mascara first, and then we'll talk about the last one. Oh, I forgot to put inner corner highlight. I'm gonna take the Zodiac palette again, and I'm gonna use the center shade in here. So now we're gonna get into the cream products. And I'm a little stressed, because this could totally ruin my entire makeup look. So I have this contour stick from Clinique. Okay, I'm like a little nervous, but like maybe it will be kind of good. Okay, so I'm gonna try to contour with this. wish me luck. Hopefully I don't completely mess up my entire makeup. That'd be some video, huh, if I just jacked up my entire makeup. Can't take back that decision. It's fine, it's fine, it's all fine. I could totally mess up my makeup. Okay, we're gonna try to blend this first before we attempt to apply it anywhere else. I'm gonna take my beauty blender and just... I don't know if I'm supposed to blend this with a brush or what, but I'm also not trying to like move my makeup underneath. Oh, it just looks like a skid mark. Are you kidding me? Does it look bad? Did I just totally like wipe it away? Do I even look? Oh wait, no, I kind of look contoured. Oh no, oh snap, oh snap. Okay, I'm looking in the mirror and it doesn't look like a skid mark, so that's a good sign. Oh, okay, wait, I kind of am into this. Let me know in the comments if it looks like a skid mark. Thanks. Okay, well, we're gonna continue because if it looks bad, I have nowhere to go. We're gonna try to contour my chin. Was that too much? Probably. Does my chin look more chiseled, guys? I don't know. I don't ever really contour my forehead or my nose, but it's okay. Alright, now for the cream blush. Oh wait, I forgot bronzer. My tiny bronzer. Ooh, ooh. What bronzer does, but you know. I don't know if that's what you're supposed to do, but I like how I wasn't looking the entire time I was blending that out. Okay, so while we're doing blush and highlight and lips, we'll talk about the last point. So I'm going to use the new blush that I got from Clinique. This is what it looks like. It's in the shade O2 Robust Rhubarb. So my last tip is that college doesn't last forever, so enjoy it. I'm really starting to realize this. I'm graduated. This is something that I wish I really knew because I really miss school. I don't miss the going to class and doing the homework and stuff, but I miss the experience and I miss being on my own and all that kind of stuff, and I miss, like, I love being home and I love being with my family and stuff, but I do miss the independence of being somewhere else and having my friends, and I miss my friends in Hawaii and I miss that stuff. But I just don't take it for granted. It's not forever. Please enjoy your time. You know, as long as you're having a good time and you are making the correct decisions for you, then enjoy your life, you know? Like, what else is there to it? Sorry, I'm like weirdly smiling to make sure that my blush is like on my cheeks. Do I look like a clown? I don't know. I'm hoping that this is gonna make me dewy and like not like a matte queen. I don't know. Did I look like a clown? Help. I don't know. Anyway, just enjoy your time, enjoy the experiences, the good and the bad, and really, I don't know, just take it all in because it's a really a one lifetime, it's really a one in a lifetime opportunity and experience. And if you're not going to college, it's totally okay. It's not everybody's path. It's totally fine. Don't make people feel bad if you're not going to college. But if you are, just really take it all in, learn from it, grow from it, and just have a good time and enjoy yourself, because you're never gonna have that kind of experience again. Because let me tell you, being an adult sucks. Oh, let's do the highlighter. I went to go show my sister my highlighter, and then she told me that I didn't blend my contour on my chin well enough, so I'm gonna do that real quick. Let's do the highlight. So this is the highlight that I'm gonna be using as we do our final notes on this college video. So I really hope that this video is funny and it helps. If it doesn't, you know, whatever, but just enjoy your time in college, take care of yourself, be as positive and nice to people as you can, because you never know when you're going to see them again, and just really take care of yourself and have a good time. It is really what you make it, and if you want to remain quiet in the back and study and do your work and not go out to party, that's totally fine. If you want to party it up, that's totally fine too. Just make sure you're taking care of yourself. Let's try this highlighter. See it? Ooh. Yes, Melt Cosmetics. So yeah, I hope that if you are about to start college in the fall, that you are doing all the steps to prepare for yourself, and you're going in with a positive attitude, and that you're excited. And that I hope that you have the most amazing time and experience out there. And I hope that you are as safe and responsible as well, because you can be safe and responsible and still have a good time. I'm gonna go in with Legends Only from Jeffree Star Cosmetics, the gloss. And just put this over my lips because my lips are kind of dry and I don't really want to put a matte lipstick on. Alright, you guys, so this is the finished look. I hope that you enjoyed me talking about the 20 things that I wish I knew before I started college, and I hope you enjoy this look. I'm sorry I didn't really do it in a tutorial style, but I really wanted to focus on my points in this video, and I really hope that if you are going through college or you are about to start college, that you really enjoy your time and your experience there and really take it all in, take all the education in, because some people are unfortunate to have that, and really make the best out of every situation that you can, and know that people are going to be catty and people are going to talk about it, and that's okay. You know that what you're doing is right for you. Yeah, and so I think this is it. This is the final look. Let's do some narcissistic posing now. So alright guys, this is the finished look. I hope you are doing so amazing right now, and that you're being as positive as you can in this quarantine and you're staying inside. And let me know any makeup recommendations that I should try down below, and let me know what else you want me to make videos on. I'm really starting to enjoy this. Even though I only have 6 subscribers, I'm still having a lot of fun, and this is a form of entertainment and something for me to do during this quarantine time. So I hope you're being as safe and staying indoors and being as cautious as possible, and I hope you're staying safe and healthy, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys. Mwah.